शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Friday and Saturday series on Sanatana Shiksha, teachings of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami. We practically had a 2 weeks break. 1 week was because of the Rath Yatra festival, which was there in Belgaum. And the second week was the Nityanand Trayodasi was there. So there were programs, especially in the evening, so we had to take a break. So if we recollect what we have been discussing up till now is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami, and we have finished discussing Swayam Roop. Within Swayam Roop there is Swayam Prakash, there is the, one second, I think I don't know why 2 video screens are coming on my Zoom. Yeah. Parsarthi Prabhu, I think there is some problem. Yeah. Now it has come. Yeah. So Swayam Prakash, in that Prabhav Prakash and Vaibhav Prakash we discussed. And then we moved on to Tad Ekatma Roop, that Vilas and Swamsha is there. We went into Vilas, Prabha Vilas and Vaibhav Vilas. The Prabha Vilas, the Adi Chaturvyo, which are in Dwarka and Mathura, and the Dvitiya Chaturvyu, which are in the Vaikunta and the 24 forms. So this discussion was over. And then we came to Swa Amsha, which is a very vast discussion, because in this Swa Amsha, there is a Purusha avatar, Leela avatar, Guna avatar, Manvantara avatar, Yuga avatar, and the Shaktavish avatars. And within the Purusha avatars is the three Purushas, Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. And we started this discussion, which basically begins from, let me see where it begins from. It begins from, yes, it begins from, the Swamshas begin from 243 to 376. Vast discussion is there. And in that, the Purusha avatars is first what we were discussing. And we went up till discussing the Mahavishnu. First, the avatar definition is given, and then Mahavishnu. That is the first Purusha avatar, which is called as the Karanodakshaya Vishnu. So we came to this verse, text 71, and here we stopped. And we have been referring to the Golok chart also, where we saw how it is Mahavishnu who glances at Pradhan. And there is agitation. The three modes are in equilibrium, but that is agitated. And with the agitation, the creation process begins. So, quite in detail, Kaviraj Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Sanatana Shiksha have been discussing about Mahavishnu. Because if this is the power of Mahavishnu, who is simply an amsha of Balaram, and Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna. So we should understand who is Krishna in Tattva. Because then we will not get bewildered when Krishna performs his pastimes, his leelas. So that's why in detail the Tattva is being discussed. So Mahavishnu has been the discussion which has been happening here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So text 271 is what we will start today. Maya e dui vritti, Maya aur ar pradhan, Maya nimittahito, Vishvera upadhan pradhan. Maya e dui vritti. Maya has two functions. Maya has these two functions. What are they? Maya are Pradhan. One is called Maya and other is called Pradhan. So this Maya has two functions. One is called Maya, other is called Pradhan. Now what is Maya? What is Pradhan? Maya refers to the efficient cause. Maya nimikta hetu. And Pradhan refers to the ingredients that create the cosmic manifestation. Vishvera upadhan. Upadhan means the ingredients, Pradhan. So Pradhan refers to the ingredients that create the cosmic manifestation. So this Maya, this is the Pradhan, the cloud, the material sky, the material cloud. This has the ingredients to create the universes, to create the bodies of the living entities, the 24 elements, in fact. And this Maya is the source, the birth of these universes in the form of seeds, which again grow into huge Brahmands. So that's how this Maya has these two functions. One is, it is the efficient Nimikta Karan for the, as this verse mentions, it is the efficient cause. It acts as an efficient cause. And second, the ingredients to create the cosmic manifestation. So Prabhupada in the purport just says, for further explanation, see Adi Leela chapter 5 verse 58. So we will go to Adi Leela chapter 5 verse 58. This is very important for us to understand. Maya, the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is divided into two parts. Maya Dui Vritti. So Maya is divided into two parts. Maya is the cause of cosmic manifestation and the agent who supplies its ingredients. So just like a mother, the mother is the cause of the birth of the child. And it is the mother which provides the ingredients for the development of the child's body within the womb. So it is the mother's ingredients only, the elements, which help in forming the child's body. Similarly, Maya also is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. Mother is the cause of the birth of the child. And Maya is the agent which supplies its ingredient. Mother is the agent through which, it is the mother's bodily elements which ultimately form the body of the child. So similarly, Maya has these two functions. Further, as the cause of the cosmic manifestation, she is known as Maya. So because she is the cause of cosmic manifestation, she is known as Maya. As the agent supplying the ingredients of the cosmic manifestation, she is known as Pradhan. So because she does these two kinds of functions, and that is why, there are these two functions of Maya. One is Maya, cause of cosmic manifestation, and Pradhan, the agent for the ingredients of the cosmic manifestation. An explicit description of these divisions of the external energy is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.24, 1-4. So 11.24, 1-4 explain this. Elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.63.26, the ingredients and the cause of the material cosmic manifestation are described as follows. Prabhupada gives two references, but he quotes one here. So here the 10.63.26 is quoted by Prabhupada. Kalo Devam Karma Jiva Swabhava Dravyam Kshetram Prana Atma Vikaraha Tatsangato Bijaroha Pravaha Tvan Maesha Tannishedam Prapadhe. O my Lord, time, kala, activity, karma, providence, daiva, and nature, sabhava, are four parts of the causal aspect of the external energy, Maya. The conditional vital force, Jiva, the subtle material ingredients called the Dravya, the material nature, which is the field of activity where the false ego acts as the soul. So material nature, this whole material world is a field where the false ego wants to act as the enjoyer, the soul wants to act as an enjoyer, as well as the 11 senses, prana, and the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and earth, which are the 16 ingredients of the body. These are the ingredients aspect of Maya. So the ingredients aspect of Maya, as this verse was explaining, what is the ingredient aspects of Maya called as? Anyone can answer? What is the ingredients aspect of Maya called as? Anyone else? Govinda Prabhuji.
Pradhan.
Pradhan. The ingredient aspect of Maya is called as Pradhan. Yes. It's called as Pradhan. The body is generated from activity and an activity is generated from the body, just as a tree is generated from a seed that is generated from a tree. This reciprocal cause and effect is called Maya. My dear Lord, you save me from the cycle of cause and effect. I worship your lotus feet. So what a beautiful Yes, I think this is where the pastime is explained of the creation of the Maya. Two aspects is there. Although the living entity is primarily related to the causal portion of Maya, he is nevertheless conducted by the ingredients of Maya. Three forces work in the causal portion of Maya: knowledge, desire, activity. Jnana, Icha, Jnana, and Kriya. The material ingredients are the manifestation of Maya as Pradhan. In other words, when the three qualities of Maya are in the dormant stage, they exist as Prakriti, Avyakta, or Pradhan. Now, very interestingly, Prabhupada is using these three terms: Prakriti, Avyakta, or Pradhan. In fact, sometimes we can get confused with terminologies. Avyakta or Pradhan, Prabhupada is using them synonymously, but Prakriti is also using. There's another term which will come up further in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is called as the Mahatattva. So, what is this Pradhana, Avyakta, Mahatattva, and Prakriti? This we need to very clearly understand. Now, Avyakta or Pradhan is when Mahavishnu has not glanced on Pradhan, when the three modes are in equilibrium within Pradhan. So it is the unmanifested state of matter. It is like a woman who has not come in contact with a male. So it's like the Pradhan state. So when the husband and the wife unite, when there's first everything begins with a glance, and when the glance, then there's agitation in the heart, and because of that agitation, then there is attraction, and then there is a union, and then there's a production. Similarly, when Mahavishnu glances at Pradhan, the three modes which are in equilibrium, they are agitated, and the first, unmanifested, the first sum total of the material energy in the form of Mahatattva is there. Now, Mahatattva is something like the mother carrying the child in the womb. So that is Mahatattva. And before she is conceived by the male, that is like the Pradhan, the normal state. And when the mother delivers actually the child is of a particular nature. He is Brahminical in nature or Kshatriya in nature or whatever it is. He has a particular nature. In fact, also Ayurveda says that the child which is born at the time of birth, his Prakriti is determined of what Prakriti is, whether it is Pitta Prakriti or a Vata Prakriti or a Kapha Prakriti. Of course, the combination of the body will be Kapha Pitta Vayu, but something will be more prominent. Either Pitta will be prominent, or Kapha will be prominent, or Vata will be prominent. Based on that, we say he is a Pitta Prakriti or a Vata Prakriti or a Kapha Prakriti. So, Prakriti is when the whole creation is manifested. Then it is called as Prakriti. And that's why Krishna uses the term Prakriti when he describes the material elements. Bhumir apo analo vayu kham manor buddhire vacha ahankariti amme bhinna prakriti rashtada. He says bhinna pradhan ashtada or bhinna mahat ashtada, he doesn't say. So bhinna prakriti rashtada. Prakriti is now which is manifested, what you are able to see here. Earth you are able to see, water, fire, air, ether, the whole material universe which is manifested, just like the child which has come out of the womb. So that is the difference between Pradhan, Mahatattva and Prakriti. So this we should be very clear. The word Avyakta, referring to the non-manifested, is another name of Pradhan. So it's another name of Pradhan. In the Avyakta stage, material nature is without varieties. So in the Avyakta stage, material nature is without varieties. Varieties are manifested by the Pradhan portion of Maya. The word Pradhan is therefore more important than Avyakta or Prakriti. Now again, Prabhupada Avyakta, he takes it as synonym to Prakriti. But of course, there is, you can use them synonymously, but there is also a differentiation. And we went through the differentiation part of Pradhan, Mahatattva and Prakriti. So where does Krishna use the word Mahatattva in the Gita? Anyone knows? Raise your hands. Where does he use now you know Pradhan. Now Mahavishnu is going to glance, and that time it is called as Pradhan. And when the universes are manifested, then it is Prakriti, just like the mother has delivered the child. When the mother is still not come in contact with the husband, and now wife have not come in contact with each other, then it is unmanifested. The child is not there, and it is an unmanifested state. So that time it is Pradhan. When she is conceived, then the Mahatattva, the creation of the child in the womb is happening. The elements are manifested like that in the womb. Then it is Mahatattva. When the child comes out, it is Prakriti. So where in the Gita, Prakriti example I gave you, the manifested universe in 7.4, but where in the Gita Krishna speaks of, about the Mahatattva? Anyone knows, can raise their hands in the Gita. Which verse in the Gita Krishna refers to Mahatattva? Where he refers to Mahatattva? Who will answer this? It's very important that we know this. Anyone? Oh, two hands are there. Yes, Parth Sarthi Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. In the 13th chapter, when Krishna is talking about the 24 elements of material world.
Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktamev cha. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktamev cha. Indriyani dashekam cha panchendriya gochara. He's speaking about the avyakta there. He's speaking about the pradhan. But I am asking you about the Mahabhutani is the 5 great elements. 5 great elements. So there, there it is more of pradhan. It is being spoken. I'll share the screen for you. Mahabhutani ahankara buddhir avyaktamemacha. Avyakta, the unmanifested, Prabhupada is saying here. And if you go down, this represents the unmanifested state of the 3 modes of material nature. The unmanifested modes of the material nature is called pradhan. Here Prabhupada is giving the definition of pradhan. See how clear. How clear is the definition of pradhan? This verse is speaking about pradhan. Virendra Yadav Prabhuji, what's your hunch? Which verse in the Gita speaks about the Mahatattva?
Hare Krishna, bro. I think, bro, it is in 14.3. Mam yonir mahat brahma.
Yes, yes, 100 marks. Mama yonir mahat brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Mama yoni. Yoni is now the source of birth. Mahat, the total material existence, Brahman, supreme. Tasmin garbham. Garbham means pregnancy. Now you can see pregnancy. The word is used as pregnancy. Dadami aham sambhava sarvabhuta, all liberties. Now here Prabhupada speaks about the Mahatattva. The total material substance of Mahatattva is described as Brahman. So this is the 24 elements beginning from earth, water, fire, all are material energy and they constitute the Mahat Brahma, greater Brahman. So it's like now the seeds, the jivas are impregnated in Pradhan, and now the universes are being created. So that is the time it is called as Mahatattva. And the Prakriti example I gave you, that is in 7.4, sorry, 7.4. Yeah, Bhinna Prakriti. Prakriti Ashtada. So Prakriti is the manifested state. So like that, we should know the difference between Pradhan, Mahatattva and Prakriti. Yes, Prabhuji, you have a question?
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. First of all, it was written unmanifested mode of material nature is called Pradhan.
Yes.
Then what is Avyakta?
Avyakta itself is Pradhan. It is unmanifested. Vyakta means manifested. Avyakta means unmanifested.
But
So
there is a difference between
Avyakta
Avyakta and Pradhan.
Avyakta and Pradhan are synonymous.
Oh.
Pradhan is the unmanifested state of the modes. When there is the impregnation happening, then the total material energy, there is agitation and the ahankar. The ahankar is the subtlest of the gross elements, which is called as Mahatattva, in which all the 24 elements are there in subtle form. Subtle to gross, the whole creation happens. Similarly, like, the subtlest form in the form of a, Karna, is impregnated in the womb. And from that, a bija comes. From the bija, the whole child body is developed. Similarly, in the Mahatattva, the total material energy is there. And slowly from the subtle to the gross elements are created and the whole universes are manifested. So that time it is Mahatattva. When it is manifested, then it is Prakriti. I hope it is clear, Prabhuji.
Because here you said that there was that you gave the model that a lady who is not met a male.
If she has still not conceived, she has not conceived a child, her unmanifested state is Pradhan. When she comes in contact, and all happens through glance, in fact. And then there is a union, and then there is a seed which is impregnated, garbham, same like Mama Yoni Mahat Brahma, Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham as garbham.
Oh, that is Mahatattva.
That is Mahatattva, and when the whole universe, the whole universe is like all the 24 elements are there in the child's body. When the child comes out, then it is Prakriti. And it's Prakriti. So just a comparative understanding to understand these three terminologies.
Okay, so Prabhuji, also in the previous slide, it was written 3 qualities of material nature. 3 qualities of material nature means?
The modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So I hope it is clear, the Mahatattva, Pradhan and Se Purusha Maya Pane Kare Avadhan Prakriti Shobita Kari Kare Virera Adhan. So this is the verse which Bhagavad Gita also speaks. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead glances over material energy. Now again it is interchangeably used here. When he glances, she becomes agitated. Shobit. At that time, the Lord injects the original semen of the living entities. Kare Virera Adhan. Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.10, Krishna says, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the original seed of all existence. So these bijas which are impregnated in these bijas are the jivas. And these jivas are eternal. So that's why Krishna is saying. This is also confirmed in another verse of the Bhagavad Gita 14.4. We refer now 14.3. Prabhupada is quoting 14.4. Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiya tasam brahma mahadyonir aham bija prada pita. This mahad, brahma mahad, yoni. Yoni is yoni and bija. Yoni is the mother, bija is given by the father. So I am the seed-giving father. It is to be understood that all species of life, all sangha are made possible by Bhaitanmana, and I am the seed-giving father. So Bij and Yoni. For a further explanation, one may refer to Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Samhita also states, Agnir Mahi Gaganam Ambumaradishascha Khalas Tatatma Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmad Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. All material elements as well as spiritual sparks, individual souls are emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So both the material elements and the sparks, the Bhairanga Shakti and the Tatarsa Shakti are coming. Etad Yonini Bhutani, Krishna says in 7.6, both are coming from him. This is confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadhyasya Yataha. The absolute truth is he from whom everything emanates. He is the same truth, Satyam Param Dhimehi. The absolute ultimate truth is Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasyato Nanvayad Itaraschartheshu Abhigna Surat. The absolute truth person who is directly and indirectly cognizant of the entire cosmic manifestation. The absolute truth is the personality of Godhead, educated Lord Brahma from the heart. Tene Brahma Ridha Ya Adi Kavaye. Therefore, the absolute truth cannot be dull matter. The absolute truth must be a supreme person himself. Sei Purusha Maya Pane Kare Avadan. Simply by his glance, material nature is impregnated with all living entities. According to their karma and fruit activity, they emerge in different bodies. So based on their previous karmas, somebody will take a Devata body, somebody will take a human body, somebody will take an animal body. This is the explanation given. That is the explanation given in the Bhagavad Gita. Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehanta prapti dhiras tattana bhudyati. So we take the bodies according to our karma. Text 273. Any questions regarding this? Any clarifications? A little important that we understand this difference between Mahatattva, Avyakta and Pradhan. Yes, Govind Prabhuji has a question.
Prabhuji, just I want to clarify. Mahatattva, Avyakta is and Pradhan is same, means it is unmanifested state. So
Correct.
this is the state after means everything is wind up. This will be in Avyakta state. Is that the same, Pradhan?
Yes, it is in
this
the unmanifested state where the three modes are back in equilibrium.
Yeah.
So that is the state. That is Pradhan.
Yeah.
That is Avyakta.
Pradhan. Avyakta state. So when the manifestation is started, creation is started, that time Mahavishnu glances on the Pradhan.
Yes.
So then when it glances, then all the elements started creating and the three modes start appearing, everything that is called Mahatattva.
Yes,
after glancing,
correct.
it becomes,
Correct.
after
Mahatattva.
glancing, here Mahatattva means all the elements are ready now, getting ready, or what
Yes,
exactly?
Mahatattva is actually the, in one sense, it is the, it will come up in the coming verses,
Okay.
it is false ego. It is a junction
Okay.
between matter and spirit. So
Okay.
Mahatattva is the subtlest of the subtlest form of matter in the
Oh.
form of ahankar. And from this Mahatattva, it mixes with the three modes. There is ahankar in the mode of goodness, ahankar in the mode of passion, there is ahankar in the mode of ignorance. From the ahankar in the mode of goodness comes the the mind and the sense devtas. From the ahankar in the mode of passion comes the senses and the pranas. And from the ahankar in the mode of ignorance comes the subtlest of the gross elements in the form of sound. And then from sound, there is ether. From ether, there is sound, or sound to ether. And then air, then there is touch. And then there is fire, and then there is form. And then there is water, there is state. Mahatattva with the three modes. Mahatattva is nothing but ahankar with the three modes. Then these manifestations come. And all these manifestations, when they are going through, then we can say it is, the term used is Mahatattva. Is it clear, Puji?
Clear. And when it fully manifests, it's called Prakriti.
Prakriti. And that's why you see specifically in the Gita, some places it is Prakriti, which is used, and some places Mahatattva. And we bought out that 7.4, it is Prakriti. 14.3 and 4, it is Mahatattva. Because there already the impregnation is happening. Before impregnation, it is Pradhan. Once it is impregnated, it is Mahatattva, the sum total of material energy.
Yes.
And when the material universes are manifested, then it is Prakriti. Okay? Yeah. Any other questions? Any other clarifications with respect to this verse?
Yes.
Any other clarifications? Swanga Visheshabhas Rupe Prakriti Sparshana Jiva Rupa Bija Tate Kaila Samarpan. To impregnate the seeds of the living entities, the Lord Himself does not directly touch the material energy. Swanga Vishesh Abhas Rupe. His Abhas Rupa, the Lord Mahavishnu, directly doesn't touch material nature, but his own Swa-anga, Vishesh Abhas Rupa. He takes a Vishesh Abhas Rupa, but by his specific functional expansion, he touches the material energy, Prakriti Sparshan. And thus the living entities, who are his parts and parcels, are impregnated into material. Jiva Rupe Vije Tate Kaila Samarpan. Now, which is this, Vishesh Abhas Rupa, his functional, specific functional expansion, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Kaviraj Goswami are speaking. Can lower our hand, Parsati Prabhu? Let me first finish my question first. So, which is this Swanga Vishesh Abhas Rup? Which is that form which Mahavishnu takes to come in contact with material nature? Which is that form? One hand is raised, Parsarthi. Others. Radha Jivan Krishna Prabhuji. Which is that form he takes? Mahavishnu doesn't directly contact Pradhan. It's only he glances, but in his form,
Shadow form.
Shadow form. But what it is? Who is it? Who is that personality? Okay. Yes. We'll give Parth Sarthi. Reena Mataji has raised her hand. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dhandas Ma'am Prabhuji. It is Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Okay. Govindat Prabhuji.
It's Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva. Okay. Parth Sarthi Prabhuji.
Rudra.
Rudra.
Lord Shiva is Rudra.
Okay, Lord Shiva is Rudra. So again, now we will go to the Golab chart. Oh. So, firstly, we have to understand the manifestation of Shiva Tattva has to be very clearly understood by Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It's very, very important. Now, this is what is called as the Sadashiv Lok. It's not clear here in the name, but it is Sadashiv Lok. And this is called as a Mahakal Dham, the Brahma Jyoti, which is there, this between the material and the spiritual, this is called as a Mahakal Dham. So, certain portion of the Sadashiv Lok is in the spiritual world and the certain portion is in the material world. And the Lord here is called as Sadashiv. Sadashiv is an eternal personality who lives in the spiritual world. He's an eternal personality. And he has his own abode here. And it is part of the spiritual world and the spiritual planets. And though he is worshipable Lord is Sankarshan, or the Mahasankarshan. So his worshipable Lord is Mahasankarshan, and he has his eternal associates who worship him. And they're all Vaishnavas in one sense who reside here. Now, Mahavishnu actually doesn't directly glance on Pradhan. Mahavishnu glances on Rama Devi. And that functional aspect, somebody said Shiva is right. Somebody said Rudra, it is right. But the exact form of the Shiva is called as Shambhu. Is called as whom? Shambhu. Now this Shambhu has again, Brahma Samhita explains one distinct feature and indistinct feature. He lies in a distinct feature and an indistinct feature. In a very subtle form, along with the jivas, in his indistinct feature, he takes the jivas, carries the jivas from the glance of Mahavishnu and impregnates into Pradhan in his indistinct feature. That is in the form of a linga, the Shiva linga, what we say. And the yoni is Durga. You can see here Maya, Durga Devi. So Shambhu and Maya, basically the creation is the combination of Shiva and Durga in one sense. So, but again, we have to understand Shambhu is manifested in the indistinct form, and in the distinct form, he has a form. In the indistinct form, he is in the form of Shivalinga, both Shiva and Parvati. And in the distinct form, he is having actual form. So that is the subtle difference. And actually, when he glances or he impregnates the jivas into Pradhan, the whole creation process starts. And then these elements from the Mahatattva slowly are produced. And from Mahavishnu, actually it is not here, there are the Adi Devas who manifest. There are the Adi Devas which they are called. And these are the presiding deities of the elements which are created outside this creation. We are not speaking about this creation here. We have not come up till here now. So the original elements which are created, like the earth, water, fire, air, ether, and all these are still in very subtle form. They are very, very subtle form. So these Adi Devas, also there is Shiva here. He manifests from Vishnu's bodies. I don't know from left portion or right portion. Brahma Samhita goes into quite detail and explains. And in the Bhagavatam, the Adi Deva prayers are there. And these elements are not able to, come together. There's no cohesion happening, because without the elements combining, then, the creation cannot take place. So the Adi Deva's prayers are there. And after these elements combine, you can see from the pores of Mahavishnu, also there are universes coming, the golden egg. So this Mahatattva is also called as the Hiranyamay Mahatattva. These are golden. Hiranya means gold. And then when these elements combine, the golden egg is there, and on that these layers of earth, water, fire, air, ether, and all, now the elements have combined. The Adi Devas of all these elements have combined, and then they form the shell of the universes. And then later on, the bodies of the jivas within the universe are also created like that. So it is Shambhu in his indistinct form here. In the distinct form, he is there with Mahavishnu as part of the Adi Devas. And when through Brahma, he manifests through the eyebrows, then he is Rudra, and there are 11 Rudras are there. So, and there is Shiva, in fact, who is the predominating deity of the mode of ignorance in each of the universes. He is an expansion of Shambhu, you can see. So like that, there is Sadashiv, there is Shambhu. He is in the indistinct form here. Of course, the picture is shown here, but he is in the indistinct form in the form of Shivalinga. This is a distinct form of Maya Devi, but again, it is a form of Yoni. But both pictures are shown. But in the distinct form, he is Shambhu. And then within the universe, he is Shiva. And manifesting from Brahma is the Rudra and the 11 Rudras. So like that, the whole Shiva Tattva is there. So we have to understand this very, very clearly. So now let us go to this verse and see what Prabhupada is saying. According to Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 15.7, I will take up the questions after this discussion on the purport. According to Bhagavad Gita, Mamevamsh Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana Manashashtani Indriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati. In the present verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the word Prakriti Sparshan refers to the Lord's glancing over material nature and placing the living entities in contact with dull matter. The glancing is performed by Mahavishnu. So the glancing is done by Mahavishnu. Sa ikshata lokan nu shrija iti. Aitri Upanishads. Sa ikshata. Ikshata means to glance. And then the lokans, the shrijan of the lokas happens. In the conditioned stage, we impregnate according to the bodily conception. That is by sexual intercourse. But the Supreme Lord does not need sexual intercourse to impregnate. The impregnation is performed simply by glance. I told you this is whole, impregnation happening between the bija and the yoni. This is also explained in the Brahma Samhita. Angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti hashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govinda can impregnate simply by his glancing. Angani Yasya Sakala Indriya. All his angas can perform the function of any other. Like his eyes can eat, his eyes can smell, his eyes can taste. Eyes can do all of the functions, which is not possible for me. In other words, his eyes can work as his genitals. He does not need genitals to beget a child. Indeed, Krishna can beget any one of the living entities with any one part of his body. The word Swa-angena Vishesh Abhas Rupe, indicating the form by which the Lord begets living entities in the material world, is explained herein. I was explaining that Swa-anga Abhas Vishesh Abhas Rupena refers to Shambhu. Now Prabhupada is explaining that it is Shambhu. He is Lord Shiva. So he is Shiva. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that Lord Shiva, who is another form of Mahavishnu, is like yogurt. Yogurt is nothing but milk, yet it is not milk. So Mahavishnu expands himself to come in contact with material nature in the form of Shambhu or Shiva. Again, the terms are interchangeable, but they have specific definitions based on the context also. Similarly, Lord Shiva is the father of this universe and material nature is considered the mother. So our material father is Lord Shiva and our material mother is Durga. Our spiritual father is Krishna and spiritual mother is Srimati Radharani. The father and the mother are known as Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga. Together, Lord Shiva's genitals and the vagina of Goddess Durga are worshipped as the Shivalinga. So what is Shivalinga? As I mentioned here, uh, that there is the yoni and, sorry, this is the yoni and the linga. They are in the indistinct form. That indistinct form is Shivalinga. This is Shivalinga. When they are, no, Shivalinga, you know that many of the temples of Lord Shiva, uh, uh, Shiva is more represented in his indistinct form in the form of the Shivalinga, where the linga represents Shiva and the lower portion yoni represents Durga. But in many of the temples also there is a Shiva Murti. That is his distinct form. So like that, Shiva exists in these two forms, and I mentioned that this is Shambhu in indistinct form, and this is Maya in its indistinct form. But later on, from Mahavishnu's Anga comes also Shiva or Shambhu in his distinct form. So there are Shiva manifestations at different levels. This is the origin of material creation. Thus, Lord Shiva's position is between that of the living entity and that of the Supreme Lord. In other words, Lord Shiva is neither the Supreme Personality of Godhead nor the living entity. Shiva Tattva is somewhere in between, you can say. He is the form through which the Supreme Lord works to beget the living entities within the material world. So he is the form through which Lord Krishna begets living entities in the material world. As yogurt is prepared when milk is mixed with the culture, the form of Lord Shiva expands when the Supreme Personality of God is in touch with material nature. The difference between Vishnu, Mahavishnu, and Shambhu or Shiva is that Vishnu doesn't come in contact with material nature at all. Whereas in his expansion as Shambhu, he comes in contact with material nature. That's the difference. But both are transcendental personalities. You should remember that. Both are Ishwars. But there is slight difference. The impregnation of the material nature by the Father Lord Shiva is wonderful because at one time, innumerable living entities are conceived. Bhago Jiva Sa Vigya Sa Chanantaya Kalpate. Anantaya, unlimited. This jiva, which is very tiny, is impregnated. Keshagra Shatabhagasha Shatamsha Sadrashatmaka Jiva Sukshma Sarupoyam Sankhya Hi Chitkana. Two verses. This is Keshagra, this is famous verse. The innumerable Brahmandas or universes come from the pores, the Lord's body, and the innumerable living entities also come from the pores, the transcendental body of the Lord. So like that, the Brahmanda's creation also happens. This is the process of material creation. Without the living entities, this material nature has no value. This material nature is existing because It is created for the jivas who want to become enjoyers, false enjoyers. Both emanate from the pores of the transcendental body of Mahavishnu. They are different energies. The material nature is explained as follows by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Now it is Ahankar, Binna Prakriti, Ashtata. Thus, the material elements also come from the body of the Supreme Personality of God, but they are a different type of energy from the living entities. So the Bhairanga Shakti and the Tatastha Shakti both come from the Lord. Although the living entities also come from the Lord's body, they are categorized as a superior energy. Aparayamitastvanyam prakritim vidyame param. Param means it is superior energy. Jiva bhuto mahabhavo yedam dharyate jagat. The inferior energy matter cannot act without the superior energy. All these things are very clearly explained in the Vedas. The materialistic theory that life develops from matter is incorrect. Life and matter come from the supreme living entity. Therefore, being the source of both, that supreme living entity Krishna is described in the Vedanta Sutra as Janmadyasyata, or the original source of everything, Sarva Karana Karanam. This is further explained in the following verse. Further explanation is there in the following verse. So now, any questions or clarifications up till now? Yes, one second. Virendra Yadav Prabhuji, you have a question? Yeah, tell me.
Hare Krishna, Pro, in Golok chart, you've shown that Rama Devi, when Mahavishnu is dancing on Rama Devi, and then Shambhu and Durga, how is this link between Rama Devi, Shambhu and Durga? That I did not understand.
Mahavishnu consorts Rama Devi. And Mahavishnu, as it was mentioned, he doesn't directly, come in contact with material nature. But the jivas, which are in the form of virya was mentioned, semen, they are carried in the form of Shambhu, the form of an indistinct form, as I mentioned, linga. They are carried, and because the Lord is always sporting with his internal energy, Antaranga Shakti. So that's why the glance is on Rama Devi, and we know that Durga Devi is again coming from the Lakshmi only, Rama Devi. So in one sense, Mahavishnu to come in contact with material nature expands in form of Shambhu, and Rama Devi in the form of Durga Devi or Maya. Through Shambhu, Shiva and Durga, the impregnation of the Linga and Yoni happens. That is, the Jivas are impregnated in the womb of Durga Devi in that sense. So Lord Vishnu is eternally performing his leelas with his Antaranga Shakti, that is Rama Devi. So even Rama Devi directly doesn't, impregnate the jivas. It is done through Durga Devi. So in one sense, Durga is expansion from Rama Devi, and she comes in contact with Shambhu. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu, yes. Thank you.
Any other questions anyone has? Any other clarifications? Okay. So we'll go to the next verse. Now, two verses, scriptural quotations are given of this, how the Mahavishnu glances and the creation happens. Daiva Shubhita Dharminyam Swasyam Yono Para Puman Adatta Viryam Sasuta Mahattattvam Hiranmayam. At the time beyond memory, Daivat, after agitating the material nature into three qualities, Shubhita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead placed the semen of innumerable living entities within the womb of that material nature. Thus, material nature gave birth to the total material energy known as Hiranyamay Mahatattva. Mahatattvam Hiranyamay. I told you this Mahatattva is the first when Pradhan is agitated by the glands. Mahatattva is in one sense the total material energy in the most subtlest form. It is Ahankar, it is a junction between matter and spirit. The original symbolic representation of the cosmic manifestation. It is a symbolic representation of the cosmic manifestation, the Mahatattva. So this is the one verse which has been quoted, and Prabhupada writes a nice commentary to this. This is the quotation from the Srimad Bhagavatam 3:26-19. Lord Kapila is explaining to his mother the relationship between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and material nature. He is informing her how that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original cause of the living entities who are conditioned by material nature. Over and above the 24 elements of the material creation is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. Life comes not from matter, but from life itself. As explained in the verse, Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam. The Supreme Lord is the original source of life. So Prabhupada's commentary is very brief here. But this verse shows that how the Lord impregnates the living entities in the womb of material nature, and then material nature gives birth to the Mahatattva, which I have already described now. What is Mahatattva? The second reference he gives, again from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Kalavritya tu mayayam Unamayam adokshaja Purushenatma Tena Viryam Adatta Viryavan. In the due course of time, Kala Vritya tu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu Nath, Mahavaikuntanath, he is Mahavishnu, by the agency of the expansion of his personal self, Mahavishnu, place the seed of the living entities within the womb of material nature. Viryam Adatta Viryavan. Viryavan is. So this is another verse which has been quoted. Prabhupada. This is the quotation from the Srimad Bhagavatam 3:5-26, where the creation process is. This verse tells how the living entities come in contact with material nature. Now Prabhupada gives the same example which I gave. Just as a woman cannot beget children without uniting with a man, material nature cannot beget living entities without being in union with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a history of how the Absolute Truth becomes the father of all living entities. In every system of religion, it is accepted that God is the Supreme Father of all living entities. According to Christianity, the Supreme Father God provides the living entities with all necessities of life. But Prabhupada is here using this highest philosophy even to prove what is there in Christianity. Therefore, they pray, give us this day our daily bread. Any religion that does not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Absolute Father is called Kaita Dharma or a cheating religion. So Prabhupada is using here, this argument here, God is our Father. So in that context only particularly he is using, and any quotation which supports it, Prabhupada is using that, and Prabhupada is using from the Christianity also to support that God is the Supreme Father. Only for that purpose he is using it. Such religious systems are rejected as Srimad Bhagavatam. So here Prabhupada is giving Dharma Projita Kaitavatra, not in the sense of Dharma Artha Kama Moksha, but in the sense that anyone who doesn't accept Krishna as our father, God as our father, then it is cheating religion. In that sense, he's using. Only an atheist does not accept the omnipotent Supreme Father. If one accepts the omnipotent Supreme Father, he abides by his orders and becomes a religious person. So in a very broad sense, Prabhupada is using this. Any questions regarding this now? Okay. So we will finish now. These few verses were little, difficult. A lot of important points are there. So that's why I could look in detail. Yeah, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Here this reference of dharma projit kaitavo triparma. This kaitavo refers to kaitavo dharma.
Refers to what?
This true reference of Srimad Bhagavatam verse 1.1.2 dharma projit kaitavo triparma. This verse, this kaitava refers to kaitava dharma.
No, Kaitava here Prabhupada is using in a sense now to prove how anyone who doesn't accept God as our father is practicing a cheating religion.
Oh, right.
In that sense, he is using it, not in the form of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha.
Oh, right.
Because Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha are considered Kaitava
Yes.
in the Bhagavatam verse. So Prabhupada is using that argument here in this context for a different purpose.
Yes. Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, there's one more question. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhuji. Actually related to last Shiv Tattva. मतलब Sadashiv and Shiv Tattva में difference, the Shiv Tattva is a Shambhu, and what is the difference exactly? I couldn't understand.
Basically, first thing we have to understand, there is an eternal personality called Sadashiv. He resides in the Sadashiv Loka. This is the Sadashiv Loka, which is in the spiritual world. And just like, Maha Sankarshan expands into form of Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu doesn't directly come in contact. He contacts through Shambhu. So Shambhu, in one sense, is an expansion of Sadashiv in the indistinct form. Later on, he is in the distinct form as a personality. In the indistinct form, he is like a linga. So, and then Maya is energy. So this world is Maya, we say it's energy. But there is the form also in the form of a deity, that is Durga, So that is the Yoni. So Shambhu is an expansion of Sadashiv. And further within the universe, from Brahma comes Rudra. And now Rudra is an expansion of, again, Shambhu. Just like Mahavishnu is an expansion of Mahasudarshan. And who is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu? Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is an expansion of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And who is, no, not Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Karunadakshaya Vishnu. And who is Karunadakshaya Vishnu? Karunadakshaya Vishnu is an expansion of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So in that sense, we can see that Shambhu is an expansion of Sadashiv, and Rudra or Shiva within the universe is an expansion of Shambhu. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Shiva is not eternal. Sadashiva is eternal. It's like that.
No, all these personalities are eternal, but they manifest. All these personalities are eternal. All these personalities are eternal. Like we cannot say that because Mahavishnu is always lying in the causal ocean. The creation manifest and unmanifest. When the creation manifestation happens, this Mahavishnu himself expands into unlimited Vishnus in the form of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So till then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is not present. It doesn't mean that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is not eternal. He is eternal. These are all eternal personalities who manifest. So they are eternal personalities in one sense, but they are expansions. The expansion flow has been explained here, given. Okay, Parsarthi Prabhuji, you have a question.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Please explain about Mahakala Dham. Is it a part of eternal spiritual world?
Mahakal Dham, as you can see here, it is this black portion. It is the Brahma Jyoti. The Jivas who practice the Gyan Marg, they merge in the Brahma Jyoti. They cannot enter into the spiritual sky. This is the material sky. This is the spiritual sky where the spiritual Vaikuntha planets are there. So they are in between in the Brahma Jyoti. So that dham is called as the Mahakal Dham. And, that is this place, the junction between the material and the spiritual. So the Mahakal Dham, quite exhaustively and elaborately, Brahad Bhagavatamrit, Sanatana Goswami explains when Gop Kumar is traveling. Gop Kumar is first situated on earth in Govardhan. From Govardhan, he goes to heavenly planet, Indra's planet, then Janalok, Maharlok, then Satyalok. Brahma is worshipping his Sarashish Purusha. So then he crosses this universes and goes to the Mahakal Dham. And there he meets Shiva. Shiva guides him to go to the Vaikuntha planets. Then he goes to the Vaikuntha planets, meets Narayan. And then he goes to Dwarka, Dwarka Krishna. Ultimately, he comes to Krishna. So there, a little bit more in detail, the Mahakal Dham is mentioned. It is the Brahma Jyoti, where the Gyan Yogis who attain liberation, they reside there. It's neither spiritual, because you cannot enter into the spiritual sky, and neither it is the material sky, where the material universes are situated, where the cycle of birth and death is there.
So those who reach it can fall down. Those who reach Mahakal Dham can fall down back to the material world.
No. Once you are liberated and you are situated there, there's no question of falling down.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji. Thank you. Those who reach Mahakal Dham, they are liberated, and there is no question of falling down.
They are liberated. Before, while practicing Jnana Yoga, and if they anadrita yushmatangra, if they offend the Lord or the Lord devotees, and although they are here situated and they are practicing the Jnana Sadhana, Vimukta Maninas, it is mentioned. Vimukta Maninas, they think they are liberated, but then no. Patanti Ada. Patanti means they fall down from that position. But if they practice their Jnana Sadhana, and of course there is one Bhakti Anga also which they practice along with the other Jnana Sadhanas, that Bhakti Anga itself gives them liberation. So once they liberate from the cycle of birth and death and go in the Brahma Jyoti, they don't fall down. They don't fall down.
Okay. Thank you.
Clear? Okay. So we will take yeah. So from here onwards, the further again creation is discussed. I would like to take this tomorrow because already time is up. There is one more hand, so one more question I will take up, and then further we'll discuss tomorrow. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, last time you told that when we merge in Brahma Jyoti, there is a spiritual death and we come down.
I've never told that.
When I heard like this, I may be wrong. I don't know, but I think my understanding is that in Brahma Jyoti there is a spiritual death and they come down after that.
No.
I don't know. Maybe it is wrong. I don't know.
No, once you are liberated by the process of Jnana Yoga, and as I mentioned, if you don't offend the lotus feet of the Lord and you practice your Jnana Sadhana, and I told you within that Jnana Sadhana, there is one element of Bhakti also practice. By that fruit of Bhakti itself gives you that liberation. So then you get liberated, you go to the, Brahma Jyoti. Now, Prabhupada many times in his purports refers to, that even the impersonalists fall down. Prabhupada is speaking about two aspects we have to understand. One aspect is that they think they are liberated while practicing the sadhana, but if they have offended, then they patanti, then they fall down. That is one aspect. Secondly, Prabhupada is minimizing this whole process that we don't become attracted to liberation. That's why Prabhupada is repeatedly mentioning in his purports, many places in the Bhagavatam you will find this. Now, why? Because Mahaprabhu has come to give us Krishna Prem. Tektva Turnam Ashesha Mandalapati. Now, what was that? Shad Goswami Ashtakam? Kaivalya Nistarako. The Shad Goswamis have come to free us from the jaws of impersonal liberation. So we should not fix our goal in impersonal liberation, becoming free from the cycle of birth and death. So that's why the Goswamis have come. So that is why Prabhupada doesn't want us to fix our goal on that and fix our goal on Shyam Sundar Krishna, Vrindavan Krishna, because Mahaprabhu has come to give us that highest love, Raga Marga Bhakti Korite Pracharan, Rasika Shekhara Krishna Parama. He has come for that. So that is why Prabhupada in his purport many times emphasizes that. But if you study Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's commentaries, both in the Gita and the Bhagavatam, those Gyanis who don't offend the Lord's lotus feet and practice their Gyan Sadhana, and they become Jivan Mukta, and they'll get liberated and they go in the merge in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, or the yogis can merge in the body of the Lord, which is called as Ishwar Sayuj. There is Brahma Sayuj and Ishwar Sayuj. So that we have to have a clear understanding, and that is a separate topic in itself of how to understand this. You'll have to refer both the commentaries of the Gita and the Bhagavatam. But we should understand the statements of Prabhupada, why Prabhupada is minimizing that and informing us about it, because he doesn't want us to fix our goal on becoming free from the cycle of birth and death, that Gyan Sadhana. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, yes. Yes, Prabhuji. It's 100% clear. Thank you so much.
So we will meet tomorrow and continue a discussion of the creation process of Mahavishnu. Tomorrow I will show you some charts also to make it still more clear. Shri Sanatana Goswami ki jai, Shri Sanatana Shiksha ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki